Live from New York City, this is Hulu News Now.
Good evening and welcome to Hulu News Now. Live from New York City, I'm Sarah Stecco. Tonight's top story, a state-of-the-art journalism school opened its doors today in downtown Phoenix. We now go live to NBC News reporter Megan Lopez.
Journalism schools around the country, such as Northwestern, Columbia, and Syracuse, established the foundation for journalism education. These demanding institutions pride themselves as being the best of the best. The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication at Arizona State University is demanding some attention by relocating to downtown Phoenix. Students say they are more than happy to be making history in the journalism world.
Awesome that it's going to be a whole new school. I think that anything new is automatically exciting.
Rachel Colvin, sophomore at the Walter Cronkite School, says downtown Phoenix is the ideal spot for the new school. The 6-story building took 22 months to build, and as of Monday, students and faculty have been enjoying their new location.
Downtown is where everything news-related is going to happen. We're so much closer to the Capitol, we're so much closer to the courthouses, to any of the events that will be going on that we should actually be covering. It's so much more accessible. It's all going to be within walking distance of Cronkite.
The Cronkite School houses 2 different news studios, a radio broadcast center, and their own Cronkite News Service. The heart of the building, known as the First Amendment Forum, is where students are going to come together for events or to simply study.
The First Amendment is incredibly important to our everyday lives. The freedom of speech, having an entire room that's dedicated solely to that purpose as students, not only are they reminding us that we have the freedom to use our own voice and express our own visions, but they're encouraging that.
Walter Cronkite is best known for being the CBS Evening News anchor and for his love of broadcast journalism. Students around the country are coming to this school to experience the legacy he left behind.
Walter Cronkite's name just represents such a huge part of history. Having his name attached to mine is just going to be so good for me and to learn from his legacy.
The Cronkite School is getting nationwide attention from foundations. In just 3 years, the school has received $18 million to further advance these students' education.
It's going to be a whole new campus. We're making history, and I get to be part of that first class entering the new campus.
Whether or not the Cronkite School becomes a part of that elite club of journalism institutions, it is safe to say that the students are excited about the new facility and they are ready to learn. For Hulu News Now, I'm Megan Lopez, NBC News, Phoenix.
Thank you, Megan. Now for your local news, sports, and weather, here's Hulu News Now in your hometown.
Good evening, I'm Jason Siegel with 12 News. Here are tonight's top stories. An Arizona State student running late to class yesterday caused a major bomb scare on the Tempe campus. The student accidentally left a package on top of a parking meter, prompting police to shut down and evacuate the area. The student returned to the area after his class ended and begged police not to blow up his project. After running the box through an x-ray machine, his project was safely returned to him. And now, a check on this week's weather. A heat wave will come across the valley early next week, with temperatures rising into the high 90s on Monday and Tuesday. Things will cool down late next week with temperatures returning to the low to mid 80s. Now, here's your local sports update. It's been a crazy yet down year for local Phoenix sports teams. First, you had the Cardinals finish 10-6 yet still miss the playoffs by a game. Then, you have the Coyotes missing it by 2 points. Think it couldn't get any crazier? The Suns miss it by 1 game. Ask me if I'm crazy, but it couldn't be more coincidental that every team is missing it by 1 game. There's still hope, though. After a slow start at 4-14, there are optimism around the Diamondbacks that they are starting to turn their season around. I'm Jason Siegel with 12 News. Now back to New York.
And that concludes tonight's edition of Hulu News Now. I'm Sarah Stecco. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again tomorrow. Good night.